Hey everyone, welcome back. Now I'm going to show you how to turn on 3D buildings within studio style in components in addition to doing a little bit of data-driven styling. So let's just dive into Mapbox Studio, and I'm going to start on a monochrome light style to have a basic general light background map so that those buildings can really pop out when we start to add color. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in close enough to see the buildings in order to turn 3D buildings on. Go over to the components panel and left click on buildings, and then turn on 3D buildings on as a toggle, and you can immediately see that the buildings have turned on. You really want to see more of the 3D buildings and what kind of visual impact they have, so you can use this little arrow here, which is a picture arrow that lets you move the map around. And so you just move your mouse up and down, side to side, or if you have a trackpad and move your finger up and down, side to side, you can really see at which extent you can utilize 3D buildings on your map. And that's it for turning on the 3D buildings. So now we're just gonna dive into seeing how we can style these using the building height data, so that in order to get there you can go into the layers panel, search for building data layer, or you can quickly click on the map and it'll show you what data is underneath what you just clicked within the components as well as the layers panel. And building extrusions, and it'll just pop up with that data layers pane of information. So we're going to just adjust the colors based on the building height. So we're going to go to color, and this is currently the automatic state default built into the components within the monochrome map. So we're going to override it and edit the building height. We're going to select style across data range, and we're going to select height, which is the attribute we're going to be adjusting. So in Mapbox, building height data is in meters, and this will be styled in a way where we understand buildings and we think about buildings. So one story is about 3 meters. So we're gonna go ahead and think of a 2.5 story building as 7.5 meters roughly. So we're gonna start with making a data value for 0 height can be 0 as white, so 0 meters, and then we're gonna add another data value for that value that'll make us think of a regular size sort of house. Type in 7.5 meters, and let's make this one red, make it a bright color, so immediately it stands out. You can see it's changed. I'm gonna make another value and even 100 meters, which is about 33 stories high. I'm gonna make this dark blue just because it's contrasting to the red, but also still provides us with sort of a gradient in between that mix of colors, as well as create a color like purple. So we understand that red and purple mix together, and so we see purple on the map. Kind of immediately understand that it's an in between those two data values, and I'm gonna override we're gonna go back to the color and make a final value, sort of max, just a taller than the 33rd. So I'm gonna make a 101 value, just so it captures anything above those 33 levels. Let's make this one a bright blue. It's gonna capture 101 meters, the highest value, which is about 1500. So I'm gonna keep it at 101. And we can also see the data range up here as you can change the color and as you change the numbers, so you can see if the gradient is going in between 100 and 1500, or if I were going to change this value, I can make this a higher or lower value. So maybe I want to make it 1000, and you can see the different gradients, what that means in terms of the numeric value, but I'm gonna just keep it at default at 101. So now I can just zoom out and see that Melbourne has a few towers. You can sort of see a lot of them are sort of mid-sized purple buildings, which is above that sort of in-between range. And most of them are most of the residential areas are sort of that red short. If I want to see the buildings in between, If I want it to be discrete, I can change the value to a step rate of change, and this means that everything between 0 and 7.5 meters is white, everything between 7.5 and 100 is red, and everything between 100 and 101 is blue, and everything above 101 meters is that bright blue color. And that's it. So that's kind of more an extreme way of comparison, and you can see this is pretty not as varying compared to the other sort of option.